Hey guys, Ballet Brand here. In this video I'm going to show you how to make my bacon macaroni that's homemade and it's pretty dank. Stay tuned. Okay guys, first step is to boil your water before you add the noodles. But I'm just going to add a little bit of salt to not only season the noodles, but to make the water boil a little bit more quickly. Okay guys, so the water is nearly boiling. The salt definitely helps with that. And forgive me that I'm not measuring and kind of giving you guys exact amounts. I've cooked this so many times that I kind of just go by feel and how much portion I'm trying to how much I'm trying to cook. But yeah, I guess that's just what I wanted to say as a disclaimer. So just gonna add the noodles. As far as the noodles go, these are rigatoni, so the big shell noodles. Maybe just a smidge more. Just a little bit more. Solid. Cook these noodles until they're al dente. That means they're not completely cooked. You know, they're not 100% soft. You know, they're just a little bit, you know, crunchy. If you were to have one, they're just a little bit crunchy. So read the instructions on the bag that say how long it takes for the noodles to be al dente and cook them to that point. Okay guys, this is going to be a 2-for-1. So we got, you know, like I said, the water boiling. It's cooking our noodles. The only thing I added to this was just hot tamale, was just water and salt and the noodles obviously. So stir them around every now and then. Oil is not necessary, but it's optional. And then the pan over here is the wok, and this is where I'm going to cook the bacon. And the reason that the wok is so great is because of its shape. The way that it cooks is just like none other. So if you guys know anything about woks or have used one in the past, you know how well they work. So I'm gonna cook with the wok. You're supposed to get it really hot before actually putting in the meat, because that's just the way that woks are kind of designed. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay guys, be very careful, but I'm just going to strain the noodles now. Got almost all of it. Here's a pro tip. What you want to do is if the noodles are done cooking, add cold water to them and it'll stop the noodles from continuing to cook. I'm going to do that now. As you can see, this is all of the chopped meat, and this is how much meat I need to chop. Actually, a whole nother pound. And I'll flip it to be nice. I did get 2 different kinds of bacon, and this one's a little bit harder to cut for whatever reason. It's like softer. I don't like that. Almost done. Cool. All of this fat, guys, all of this fat is just gonna cook down into grease, because that's really all grease is just fat, and it's gonna help this actual meat cook and get crispy. So this 2 pounds is probably gonna cook down to not even a pound, maybe 3/4 pound to half pound if we're lucky of finished product. So, goes to show you how fatty this bacon is. Okay guys, this requires a really close eye because the heat is on high, but I'm gonna add the bacon now. All of it at once. Now you just need to stir it like crazy. Okay guys, so what I've done is I've turned the heat to 8, as you can see. And what I've done is I've cooked the majority of the bacon, the initial stage where you're just trying to get the grease. And now I'm letting all of the grease, just crispify, if you will, the bacon in here that's cooking. So as you can see, it's boiling away. I'm going to let it boil for quite a bit, because I like my bacon crispy. And yeah, cook the bacon to however you like it. This video is meant to kind of just show you how I do it my way, and then tailor it to however you like it. If you like your bacon more soft and chewy, then cook it that way. But I'm just showing you guys how I like it my way. Thank you. Okay guys, Brandman the chef is back. So now I'm going to cut the cheese. And let's see here. What cheeses I'll be using are Parmesan, which is a hard cheese. And this is Romano, which is another hard cheese as well. And then I'm going to use extra sharp white by Tillamook. This is a 5-pound frickin' block. It's like a cinder block. So just use as much as you want. Obviously, this is where all of the flavor comes in. So, and then with any cheeses that are hard cheeses like Parmesan and Romano, it's my recommendation that you either grate it or you chop it up as finely as you can, because that way when you're actually cooking the roux, then it's just going to be a lot easier. So that's my recommendation, and yeah. Okay guys, here is a better angle for you guys. Always got to be considerate of the audience. Okay, scooch this guy. And I will end up cutting this cheese a little bit finer, but for now I just want to get the initial chop going. And you'll see what I mean by Parmesan being a hard cheese. Let me show you right here. So guys, hard meaning that, I mean just that it's a little bit harder of a cheese to cut. So Parmesan can literally be cut down to almost a powder, if you will. So cut your cheese, and once you're done, then we'll be ready to start the roux. Okay guys, here's where it gets disgusting. So I'm going to use this whole thing of butter and just put it in here. This is the roux part. So what a roux basically is butter and flour and milk. And that creates a sauce. And then from there, we add our cheese and then we're done. So yeah, you don't want the heat to be super hot, but obviously you want it at probably a medium high, something like that. And I'm going to, so we're first going to melt the butter, and then I'll show you what we do from there. Okay guys, we got the butter to where I want it. It's all melted. Now we're going to add the flour. And I recommend adding it about half cup at a time. And then just stir very well. And let it cook for just a couple, just a few seconds before you add the next batch of flour. You want the flour to cook out during this process. Okay, I'm going to add more flour. So you can see that it's getting thicker. So continue to let it cook and keep adding some flour. Maybe turn down the heat just a little bit. Okay. That's all of the flour that I'm going to add. All of the flour I'm going to add. So I'm just going to show you guys a little bit better of a view. Now here's where, like I said, the heat is on a lower setting. and just keep stirring. You don't want the butter to burn or the flour to burn, which is why it's on a lower setting and why we're stirring continuously. And it helps to have a whisk like this one, or any whisk, because that'll help get the clumps out of the flour. So continue to stir, and once the flour starts to smell like it's cooked, and how you'll know that is it smells like a just like a pie crust almost. Once it starts to smell like a pie crust is when you can add the milk. Okay guys, so now I'm going to add the milk. The dish is starting to come together. You can smell that the flour and the butter smell cooked. So we're going to add the milk in in gradual doses, I should say. And as you can see, the flour is starting to absorb the milk, and it's starting to get a little bit more clumpy. This is what you want, guys. I promise. Our final result will be a dank cheese sauce. Okay? Continue adding milk. Okay guys, so I'm done with my roux. Now I'm going to add the cheese. And just so you know the consistency of the roux, butter, flour, and milk, that's what it looks like. So this is the same consistency that I want my cheese sauce to be as I'm adding it. So I didn't really abide by my instructions, I guess. The cheese is a little bit bigger than I'd like it to be, but it's okay. It'll all melt down. What you want to do though is just add the cheese, step by step. You don't want to pour, all of the cheese into the pan at once, because you want it to have time to melt down. So these next few steps are pretty simple, guys. Just add the cheese and keep stirring consistently and continually, and let it all melt down. Hey guys, so the roux is actually not done yet. I'm still stirring out, some of the cheese that's cooking. But here is where you add seasoning. So I'm adding some garlic powder. One thing that I will edit in is actual garlic, so raw garlic. I'm going to chop it up pretty fine and then probably just cook it separate from the roux, since this is already, doing its thing. Guys, here is the final step. And this is where we add the roux, the cheese sauce, to the dish. Y'all ready for this? I'm going to start off with that much. Tastes pretty decent. So I'm going to start off with that much, guys, and just continue to stir. Okay guys, so I did mention that I wasn't going to use all of the roux, and that's because, why make a dish too rich? So I'm just going to stir in the amount that I had poured. I'm just going to stir it in, and we'll see where we get as far as consistency goes. I am going to add a little bit more, guys. As you can, let me just show you. As you can see right here, it's not as coated as I would like. Some of the noodles are like that, so I am going to add a little bit more. And this is the fun part, you get to add as much roux as you want. depending on how much you actually cooked. Okay guys, so as you can see, this is the end of the video, and this is where I just tried the dish just to make sure everything tastes kosher. So without further ado, yep, it's a good dish. So that is, guys, how I make my macaroni. And you know, you can add as many different cheeses as you want, or you can just do a cheddar, you know. So it really just depends what you guys want, and that's what I really want to stress is when I said that I'm cooking this how I like it. That's what I mean and that's why I'm not you know, measuring out certain, you know, 3 cups of flour, 5 cups of noodles and things like that, because at the end of the day, you're gonna cook a dish your own way anyway, you know. So that's what I want you to do, is just, you know, maybe add a little bit more cheese or a little bit more milk because you like a thinner consistency. Do it however you want. It's really not that hard. Just take the steps that I've shown you and apply them yourself. And the beauty about cooking, guys, is just like with anything, you're not going to be perfect when you first start something. So why would it be any different when you try cooking or exercising or this or that? It doesn't matter, right? The thing that does matter is that you start and that you fail quick. This first dish, you know, first time you try this this roux, you might burn the damn roux 3 frickin' times and get mad and waste ingredients. That's the beauty of cooking. Is once you have experience under your belt, then you tend to make less mistakes, and you tend to make you know, like food that's higher quality. So hope you guys enjoyed. I know I'm going to enjoy my bowl. You saw how freaking big this damn bastard was. And if you guys were wondering what these marks are on my shoulders, maybe I'll make a separate video and kind of let you know what cupping is and how beneficial that can be. So let me know what you guys think in the video. Let me know what you guys think of the video in the comments. See you next time, guys.